Shrewdness fans, and welcome to the show. We are so excited because we are finishing our Guillotine ranking segments tonight. We're going to be talking about the wide receiver position, the
divas.
Yes, the divas, and the one that there's one bajillion of. There's a bajillion.
There's always a receiver
wide receivers
available.
There's always somebody who's out there and who could catch a huge touchdown for you. So we're gonna, as you guys have known, if you've listened to the other previews, if not, please go back and do. We're gonna go through our tiers of wide receivers tonight. The ones that we think are for sure starts. You don't have to ever worry about. Just plug and play them every week. Tier 1, Tier 2, guys that we think are above average and have a good shot at breaking out for you. Tier 3, getting a little dicey, but startable. And then Tier 4, ooh,
chip and chair. Those are called
rough.
bye week.
Chip
injury
and a
fills.
chair.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. So we're going to go through those tonight. Before we jump in, though, I will point out that, since there are technically 1 bajillion wide receivers, we are not going to be able to cover all bajillion tonight. So please make sure that you check out our website, which we'll be posting on our social media, talking about ad nauseum over the next few weeks. You'll be able to find our rankings there. You can print them out, take them with you to your draft, utilize them in that way, and they're totally free to you. So you should absolutely take advantage of this incredible gift that we are giving you here at the Shrewdness. We're basically giving you money.
We're doing you the work so you don't have to do it.
You're going to win your league because of these rankings. So
there's not much in life.
So we're going to highlight stuff.
There's not much in life that's free, but this is free.
That's right.
No strings attached.
That's right. Asking for nothing.
All you got to do is follow us.
That's right. That's all you got to do. So we're going to start off. Dog, the Prue, is going to tell us the consensus rankings by the Shrewdness pros and what we all have in our consensus top tier. So, Prue, over to you.
Yeah, so top tier wide receivers, a lot of value here, a lot of high scoring. These are the guys that have 8 catches and a touchdown for 100 yards. Sometimes they'll go off and you'll have a Jamar Chase game where he has 3 touchdowns and he gets you 40 points and wins you the week by himself. So these are the guys that you should absolutely consider it. An honor to have them on your team.
Yeah.
Our picks.
You'll get one of them. That's the whole thing. You'll
get one as long as you're in the top half of your draft.
And you pick a wideout first.
Yeah. You have one shot. You have one shot at most of these guys. So our picks line up pretty well with Fantasy Pros. Our top 7, we are calling tier 1 receivers. Jamar Chase is by far and away the number 1 overall.
Yeah, and to be honest, Prue, before you go into the rest, like when we say we're even with Fantasy Pros, we're not trying to be. It's just when they're obvious at the top, they're obvious at the top on every list you go to.
Yep.
But even in Gio for high floors, guess what? The best guys have the highest floors. So we will go way off the rails down the list, but the top part. So we're kind of comparing this. Not like, hey, we're just as good as Fantasy Pros. Not saying that. No. We're just saying there's a consensus up top.
Yeah, we didn't say it already, but we do hide the averages from Fantasy Pros while we do our rankings, just to try to avoid that bias.
That's right.
We put them in afterwards to see how we line up. In most cases, especially in tier 1, we line up pretty closely. So Jamar Chase, I mentioned, number 1. Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown for Detroit. CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, and Drake London sneaked into my personal tier 1. He was, I guess, I had 7. Overall, we had 6 that we liked. You can drop off Drake London there, but Nico, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, and Jamar Chase.
But
any surprises or missing ones, Dex?
We might be missing one. And
Dex thinks we are.
I think we are for sure. Malik Neighbors, he's on mine. He's up there pretty good. But Malik Neighbors, feel free to keep him in your top tier because he's in mine, and I think he's going to be real good. But Drake London is not mine. That's probably our swap right there is Drake London, Malik Neighbors. Not that they're far off. I think we have them like 2 or 3 spots different.
Right,
but it's just,
right.
I don't know. I mean, you're trusting either Michael Penix or Russell Wilson, so not much difference there, right? Like, my confidence level is so much higher with. Yeah, you can't say with a straight face, really.
Right.
But they're both going to be target. They're going to be getting a lot of them, so they're going to be leading the teams. So that's one little kind of difference on those.
Our next two are Malik Neighbors and Drake London for our overall rankings.
Yeah.
So they're all right there together.
But talk about Drake London. So you have him in your top tier, the most trusted, first round worthy in your opinion. Tell us why. Give me some goods.
Yeah, so if you look back to last year, Drake London finished 4th in the overall wide receiver rankings. The first thing I noticed when I look at him is he had 2 top 5 finishes for high scores in a week.
Yeah.
The other thing that I immediately noticed is that he has 1 dash, meaning the only game he didn't play was his bye week.
Yeah.
And that is a huge help. I've said it before. I think one of the most, we said it on our last episode even, the best ability is availability, right?
That's right.
When you're picking a number 1 wide receiver, you want a guy that you can pretty well count on to be in there every week. You don't have to think about it. You know, you're going to get a good performance and he's going to be available. So I kicked him up partially for that reason. He also had a ton of targets last year, different quarterbacks throughout the season. I guess mostly Kirk Cousins, but I think they'll still treat him as a huge part of their offense. And they're not going to throw to Kyle Pitts, so who else are they going to throw to?
Until they do, because this is the year. This is the year.
That's right. And I will say Drake London, he's been on a bad team for a while, and he's really good on a bad team. So you got to give him his props for that for sure.
So just going down the list, Jamar Chase, we're not going to talk about him. He's awesome. He's probably the top player off the board. Yeah. Triple Crown winner last year. Sounds good. Draft Jamar Chase. Puka Nacua, similar story. He doesn't have Cooper Kupp anymore. Oh, no, he just has Devontae Adams. So he's still going to have someone to take a – it's going to be hard to double team either of them.
Yeah.
He's going to keep getting fed by Stafford. I mean, if I have any weirdness, it's that Stafford has a bad back, and I hope it's just something you can – I hope it's not lasting because Jimmy G is the backup over there in St. Louis or Los Angeles. God, it's not the St. Louis Rams anymore. Now it's the Battle Hawks are playing in St. Louis. We got to get them all ready to go.
That's right.
Puka, he's going to be awesome. Justin Jefferson, don't need to say much about him. He's going to be great. No, what about he's got J.J. McCarthy now. His numbers might go down. They had Sam Darnold last year, man. He is quarterback proof. He did it with Josh Dobbs. He's done it with so many random ass dudes. Justin Jefferson's fine.
I will say J.J. McCarthy looked pretty solid in his first preseason game.
Yeah, I don't want to get too lovey-dovey on it, but JJ looked pretty good.
He looked fine.
So, yep. And then the other thing you have to consider is, unfortunately, Jordan Addison's going to be out the first 3 games. So that's going to up TJ Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson at least for September. And then we'll see who ends up taking that second wideout role. There's a couple guys it could be, but we'll talk about them later on, especially as we get close when the depth charts start getting locked down. CeeDee Lamb, don't need to talk about him much. He's awesome. He's amazing. Dak Prescott's going to be back. And that's going to be a humongous jump. I mean, CeeDee Lamb last year, God, he had just a terrible quarterback.
And CeeDee Lamb, I had him. This is one of the ones that I'm a little divergent from you guys. I have him number 2 overall on my list. And it's mainly because he had 7 top 15 finishes in last year's season with Cooper Rush throwing him the ball. So
kind of a borderline MVP. I mean, there's going to be some quarterback controversy.
He really is. He really is. So I am assuming, given how simpatico he and Dak are, that is gonna really heat up, and his numbers are going to increase even more this year. So I like him a lot. But you're right. All those guys in that top tier are like ridiculous. If you get any of them, you better get them because
So one thing that was interesting to me, so I brought it up to Prue. I was like, "What's up, bro? Why do you not have Malik Neighbors in your top tier?" Last year, number 2 in the NFL in targets behind Jamar Chase, Triple Crown guy, was none other than Malik Neighbors. So he had 170 targets. He brought in 109 of them for 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns. And he missed a couple games, so he would have had more. He had more targets per game than Jamar Chase. And that was with Daniel Jones for half a season. And then Tommy DeVito for the rest of the year. And are you kidding me? He still had that much of a pull in the offense. Russell Wilson's better than those two guys. So I think Malik Neighbors is going to be huge this year. Again, when you're on pace for over 10 targets per game, you are the offense. So I just think he's going to have a humongous year. He's absolutely my top tier because just getting fed, you keep getting fed every single series. There's going to be one or two balls to you. And so I think Malik Neighbors is going to be huge.
That target number is a big deal.
It's huge.
Guillotine, because you just want opportunities. And there are some guys that you're going to start at wide receiver who are going to get maybe 2 or 3 balls fed to them the whole game, and you got to hope they convert on those. So when you get a guy that's getting 10, 11, 12 thrown to him, that's a big deal.
Absolutely. Right. And so closing out our tier, again, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Will there be a drop-off?
Sun God.
Yeah, the Sun God. Will there be a drop-off with Ben Johnson leaving, going to Chicago? There's still going to be a good offense. He's still going to be the main one, moving the chains. He has such a high floor. Again, for Guillotine, that's all you want. I think he's at the bottom of these top-tier guys because the other ones just get so many more. And it's just tough. There's more mouths to feed in Detroit than there is in New York. And Dallas picked up George Pickens, so CeeDee Lamb might come down a little bit, but he's still going to get his.
I will say this is a crazy stat on him, though. I mean, he had 141 targets last year, which is still a lot, but is low for the top tier.
Yeah.
So he had 141 targets, and he turned that into 115 receptions.
Yeah.
So that is a very, very high conversion rate. 115 for it's 81%.
That says a lot for him and Goff being on the same page.
Yeah,
for him running his proper route, like he's where he's supposed to be. Like there's a lot of things that you can read into that, but that is very impressive for a guy that gets that many targets.
It's the highest by far of anyone with that kind of quantity. Of balls thrown his way.
And it's 2 straight years for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So he had 12 touchdowns last year, 10 the year before. He had 115 catches last year, 119 the year before. So, I mean, good Lord, you're averaging 117 and 11 touchdowns over the past 2 years. That's why you get in the top tier, man. You're very trustworthy, high confidence. You're going to do something every week. You'll be part of the offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown. So the last one we have in our top tier, Nico Collins. And you might go, wow, Nico, huh? That's a stretch. But I don't think so. God, he's so good when he plays. And the problem with C.J. Stroud last year is that Nico got hurt early. And I know a lot of you players out there did the same thing we did. You tried to ride Nico on your bench because you weren't quite sure when he was going to come back. Yay, what's up, Prue?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you just tried not to get your head chopped off because he's so good when he plays. And so far, so good. He's healthy. He looks good. There's no way he's not going to be an awesome target to have on your team, barring injury. But there's no reason to believe he's going to get injured. There's no lingering effects that they've mentioned anyway. I mean, maybe there is some, but it's not public if that's the case. So I think Nico Collins is going to bounce right back and be really, really stinking good again. He's top 10 in the league every single year he's healthy. So I think when you have someone like that, you go ahead and take your risk. All right, so let's jump into tier 2, Peru, and this is where we'll start kind of having some more discussions on guys who could have some upside, some to worry about, and then, let's just go from there. So who do you like in tier 2, if you can just kind of go through like who's in this tier for us?
Yeah, so I'll list them out quickly. There's more. Obviously, the tiers start getting bigger as the talent pool kind of gets watered down after you get out of that first elite group, right? So overall, we had Neighbors in London at the top of our tier 2. Brian Thomas Jr., another solid rookie from last year. He had a great year. Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, 82-year-old was it, Chisholm?
Yeah.
Mike Evans.
82-year-old.
Ageless Mike Evans. Set for another good year in Tampa Bay. Jackson Smith and Jigba for Seattle. T. Higgins, Terry McLaurin, provided he plays.
Yeah.
Lad McConkey, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Marvin Harrison Jr., easy for me to say. Cortland
Yeah.
Sutton, DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, and Xavier Worthy cracked our tier 2 rankings this year.
That's right.
It is. So we're like more than 2 times, almost 3 times as many people in this tier, because these are all the really goods still. So they're not the ones banging out 115 receptions and double-digit touchdowns and 1,400 yards, but they're the ones right there. They're next up. And so these guys you can count on to be all 1,000-yard receivers, 80-plus receptions at minimum, and they're going to be targeted in the end zone. These are all good dudes. Again, you're not going to be able to get one of these in every single league, every single team, especially in Geo. These first 7 or 8 wideouts will be gone. Like if you're a 15th, 16th, 18th pick, you're not getting those guys. So these are the dudes you'll be looking at.
Yes.
And that's just the way Geo works is there's 18 people per round.
Right.
So
these guys are going to start looking really good really quick.
Yep, but you can probably get 2 of these guys, and that's the whole deal. So I think let's just kind of start at the top. We already talked about Neighbors in London. We like them. They are borderline or in our tier 1s for some of us. But Brian Thomas Jr., Chisholm, I think you had him on your team last year, or at least you talking him up a little bit. Give us a little bit of Brian Thomas Jr.
And I think this is a make or break year for his quarterback. So I think because Trevor Lawrence is really needing to have a great year, he's going to go where he has trust. And I think Brian Thomas Jr. is that. The other thing I like about Brian Thomas Jr. is his yards after the catch. He had the 7th most yak yards in football last year. There was only 2 wide receivers that had more yak yards than him last year. So he was 3rd in yak, which means, he doesn't have to have a long ball to make something of it. He had 562 of his yards after the catch last year. So I really like what he does with the ball. He doesn't have to rely on a deep one. And he's also somebody that's easily targetable in the red zone. He had 10 touchdowns last year, and Jacksonville didn't score that many touchdowns. So that's a really good number. So there's a lot to like about him, and I think he's going to continue to develop. He's still young, got a lot of upside.
I just thought of one other thing related to him. There's no more Evan Ingram in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's another great point.
Evan Ingram caught a lot of balls for Jacksonville, and he's no longer there. So Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be even more of a focal point.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. And I mean, now there is the specter of Torrey Hunter. I'm sorry.
As my favorite baseball player, just because he's your neighbor and you get to go have schmoozing with Torrey. Let's talk about Travis.
All right. That's edit number 1, guys.
That's edit number 1. I saw T. Hunter, and I immediately went to Torrey.
Appreciate it. And he's obviously a Shrewdness fan. So
of course he is. So
number 48 out there.
There is the specter of Travis Hunter sitting there who is going to catch some balls. But, at the tight end, they have Strange. That's going to be a lot of targets out of him. And then at the running back position, you got ETN and Tank and Tootin and a whole lot of I don't know. So if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm throwing the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. and or Hunter, Travis, that is. Yeah. But I like Brian Thomas's experience in that case.
So here's the other thing about Brian Thomas, just again for our high floor. So the reason he is the top of my tier 2, he had 10 games where he finished in the top 20 receivers last year.
Oh,
so
wow.
That is pretty dang good. In fact, it's one of the best out of all wideouts.
Yeah.
And
that's consistent.
That's what Chiz was just talking about. Who else is Trevor Lawrence going to throw to, right? And if he gets open, guess who it's going to? So Travis Hunter will probably help. Think how many less double teams there will be this year.
Yeah, it should help.
So I think it might even make him better. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So Brian Thomas Jr., high floor. He's going to be fed the ball a lot. All right. Give us another one that you like, Prue, out of this tier.
Looking down through there, I think Mike Evans he just keeps getting older, but he keeps turning in good performances.
Delivers.
I wouldn't hesitate to pick him again. I had Lad McConkey on my team last year. I know you guys are are thinking Jim Harbaugh is going to run the ball 93% of the time and never
At
throw the
least
ball.
90.
But Ladd McConkey he was a solid choice last year for Justin
I
Herbert.
love Ladd.
I think he'll continue to be, an offensive weapon for those guys. So I think he's another solid choice.
I like both of those guys. Evans is one that I do have to highlight. He missed 4 games last year, so he effectively played in 14, and in 6 of those games he finished in the top 10 in wide receivers. So when the dude plays, he's a big number. He is getting a little older, so you're a little worried about the durability, and is he going to be able to keep going? But man, he's so good. I really like having him, and honestly, I feel like Baker's getting better as a quarterback, so that's good. And I agree with you too, Brew. I don't know that it's a bad pick to look at McConkey because he's very reliable. And of all the guys in that team that you're going to throw to, I'd be looking at Ladd.
Yeah.
They can run the ball probably, I don't know, 40% of the time, 50% of the time on first down. If they're not successful, teams are going to know they're going to run the ball. Right. So
and who else have they got?
They're going to be forced to throw the ball at times, right? Even if they tend to run, they're still going to throw the ball.
Yeah. Our other options are Disley at tight end and Quentin Butterfingers Johnston.
Drop the ball all the time. Stone Paws Johnston.
Stone Paws, yeah.
Yeah, because Mike Williams, he retired, and then Trey Harris is their rookie. And
some say he retired before this year, but
yeah, no, there's a little something to that. But the thing is, I think Trey Harris is someone that could kind of jump into that spot, and
they could.
They came out of Ole Miss. I think they want him to be the number 2, and Quentin Johnston's got to try and stave him off, which means catching the balls that come to you. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
But I like Trey Harris on the Chargers, and I think he's going to help Ladd McConkey. Again, when your best guys don't have to get doubled all the time, it helps them get open, helps them get more targets.
Right. Yep.
So I think that's a good one.
Yep.
All right, so a couple that I like in here is the poor man's Amon-Ra this year. I'm just pure going to go system. So DJ Moore in Chicago this year.
Yeah.
I don't know how you go to really anyone else. Rome Odunze's there. Got it. Luther Burden's a rookie out of Mizzou. He's going to be in the slot. And they got Colson Loveland, and they got Cole Kmet. That's a lot of mouths to feed. But DJ Moore, I think, is going to be kind of the engine of the wideout crew, and I think he should get the lion's share of the targets. And maybe
so
not
your
the
point
end
on
zone.
DJ Dex, like another thing to like about him, I mentioned Brian Thomas Jr.'s yak. One of the 2 wide receivers with more yak than him was DJ Moore. Yeah. And DJ Moore had 966 receiving yards last year, 588 after the catch.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So
I didn't know it was that much.
He is truly a guy that's like, making something happen after he gets the ball. So you're right. A lot of mouths to feed, but I do like DJ Moore.
I do too. And then normally I don't like number 2s this early. So Devontae Adams and T. Higgins are both guys that are going to be on phenomenally good passing offenses. And man, it's hard not to like them. So it's easy to get 2 guys over 1,000 yards on the same team. It happens all the time. I don't feel worried at all about that. T. Higgins is one of those guys, again, he can have those duds, but he's got a lot of game-winning weeks in him too. So as far as the high floor, he doesn't have the Jamar Chase high floor, but he's going to be pretty targeted. He's going to be number 2 on the team easily in targets. Devontae Adams, same thing. It's not like Cooper Kupp was terrible last year for the Rams.
Yeah.
And the year before, him and Puka were just fine again. It happens. It works. So Devontae Adams is awesome. Think of him in the 2 role on a team.
Yeah.
Who's going to cover him?
No doubt.
Good luck. Good luck covering him with your second.
Yeah, I like that
corner.
a lot.
And I think Devontae Adams probably, I like him. Again, he's right towards the top of my tier 2. I think he's going to be really good. But normally the second wideouts, it's always hard.
Let's not forget he had 1,063 yards last year. So
in Vegas in the
pretty
Jets.
Good. Right.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell and company, and then Aaron Rodgers, a shell of himself.
Right.
Ugh. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. But he's had the experience of kind of playing with other good wideouts. So Garrett Wilson was obviously really good. So Devontae Adams, I just don't think his production is gonna go down that much. I think Matt Stafford's really good. I mean, obviously the Rams offense is elite. I think Devontae has a good season.
Yep.
One of the other ones I want to hit on, I just want to get your guys' take. So I've got him on here. We all have him on here. He's the bottom of our tier 2. Is it just because we're Chiefs people that we like Xavier Worthy in our second tier? Or is he got it? Has he earned it? So Chisholm, Xavier Worthy, tell us why he belongs in this list where we have him in tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is a lot about Patrick Mahomes' protection. And so everything you're seeing out of camp for the Chiefs this year is that the left tackle position is significantly improved and Mahomes is getting a lot more time. If that is the case, that is a big problem for defenses, and it's a big problem for defenses for against a guy like Xavier Worthy who has deep speed. So I think, for the past 2 or 3 seasons, Mahomes hasn't had the time to throw the deep ball.
And I've seen a lot of screens.
A lot of screens, a lot of short crossing routes, that sort of thing. I could see him definitely getting a lot more deep chances this year, and that's why I like him a lot. And the Chiefs are going to throw the ball. They're going to put up yards in the air, and I feel like Xavier is probably, because Rasheed's
going to be suspended
status, and he's going to be suspended for 5 or 6 games. So, he's the one. He's the guy right now, and he's got the ability he showed last year. So I like him a lot, and I do feel like we did a pretty good job of taking out the homerism in this one. To have our number 1 Chiefs wide receiver all the way down in the
23rd,
low 20s. So I do think he's definitely worth a look because he's a 1, and like Dex said, there's some 2s that we've got ranked higher than him, but he's going to get fed the ball.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes' top target is worthy of being a tier 2 wideout.
You cannot coach speed, right? And that's just
that's right.
The more time Pat Mahomes has in the pocket, the more time Xavier Worthy's going to be breaking free of his man. So
that's right.
Yeah,
and speed doesn't slump.
That's right.
Which is nice.
That's a good good spot for him.
Speaking of really fast guys, Pruitt, I want to get your opinion because you've got him, I think, higher than you and Chisholm about the same, but I got him lower. But Tyreek Hill. I mean, again, short memories. 2 years ago, he was in discussion for MVP with 1,800 yards, 120 catches or something stupid, and double-digit touchdowns. And last year, we know what happened to Miami. They just collapsed under themselves. They lost quarterback. They were just terrible. Jalen Waddle, terrible. Tyreek, terrible. The only bright spot was John Hughes Smith, and they got rid of him.
So you're out.
We have Tyreek. Do you feel confident he's going to bounce back to the 2-year ago form? Well, frankly, the previous 5 before that. I mean, he's really good. Or is he going to be more akin to last year? Where do you have him on the confidence meter?
I don't see him bouncing back to where he was 2 years ago. But again, he's still got elite speed, elite quickness. He's got one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the league if he can stay vertical. So I just think there's potential there. I think too many people are going to write him off and say, he was terrible last year. He's on the decline of his career, whatever. Yeah. I think there's going to be value that you could get him in a good spot where if he gets hot, he's a guy that can take a 3-yard catch and turn it into a 80-yard touchdown, right? So
he can make it a house call pretty quick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They've still got.
He's still got the speed. He's still got the speed and that's the thing is the big fear with Tyreek was always when he loses a half a step, he's done because he's not a big guy. But I've been impressed with Tyreek outside of his mental acuity. He has an incredible ability
to father kids.
He does, and go 120 miles an hour in 30-mile-an-hour zones. But he also has had he's really become a good wide receiver.
Yeah,
he
catches
everything open.
We were talking about
catches,
how many drops did he have last year?
I thought
it was not many,
3,
less than 3.
It was 3.
It was a tiny. It was 2.
2 drops. Yeah,
and 123 targets. I mean, that's a
insane.
Lot.
Yeah, so, 81 catches, 2 drops. That's pretty good ratio.
And everybody talks about how bad his season was. I mean, he still had 959 yards. So. And 6 tutties. So, I mean, that's not awful.
No.
Now, I think he'll be better than that? I do. I think he's going to have a better year than that this year. And I haven't seen the drop off yet in his speed and quickness. I think he's still got a couple more years in him. You're right though, Dex. This all comes down to like if Tua can stay upright, right? If
one hit
if
away from being terrible again.
That's the problem with.
And now it's Zach Wilson back there who's terrible, and Quinn Ewers who's not ready yet. So they'll be terrible again if he gets hurt.
Yeah,
Zach Wilson is not good. I totally agree with you, but I will say the guy does have a good arm, and we're talking about a guy that has breakaway speed. I mean, if you chuck the ball down the field far enough, Tyreek can still outrun people.
Yeah,
so
it's just Tua can't outrun anybody, and when he gets hit, and it won't even have to be hard. He could get pushed in the back and trip over the yard marker and like bump his head on a pen, and he's done, man.
That's so true. The other thing I like about
is not always the wideouts, but the quarterback.
Yeah.
The other thing I do like about him, though, is the fact that Jonnu Smith's gone.
Yeah.
And that, Jonnu Smith took a lot of balls last year.
But now we have Darren Waller.
Yeah, right. For whatever reason, I don't think Darren Waller is going to take the same number of balls that Jonnu Smith did. So I feel like this is going to be a situation where there's going to be more opportunity for him to get fed too.
Yeah, yep. I think there's some value at Tyreek Hill at the end of the day. All right, a couple more we're going to hit on. So Marvin Harrison Jr., does he take the step up this year? What do you think? I don't know.
I still think McBride takes the majority of the offensive pass attempts, but Harrison does flash brilliance on occasion.
Yeah,
right. He had a couple of great weeks last year. I was looking at him,
but he had a lot of gooses,
a lot of duds. Yeah,
and that's the part that kills you. Especially
the problem is
103 and then 1.
Yeah,
and then a few weeks later, 103 again.
We talk about high floors, and he is not that.
No, that's the problem. That's why I was wondering, do you think he's going to pick up? Do you think there's like some, I don't know.
I think he has the talent to pick up.
I know, but is Arizona as a team going to do it?
No.
That's the problem.
Offensive coordinator and the head coach and the system, the scheme. I just don't know. I'm not super
I don't
confident.
think so. I don't think Kyler Murray in general likes to throw the ball down the field. I think he's too short, to be frank.
Yeah.
It's just tough to see, right? If you're 6 inches shorter than your offensive line standing right in front of you, and you're not out of the pocket,
I agree.
It's hard to see the field. So I think he's going to rely on his short target.
10 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that I think we've got him correctly ranked, but you have to understand when you draft him, you're going to have yo-yo.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And that yo-yo is going to be a little frightening. So if I draft Harrison Jr., I'm drafting somebody really steady with him.
That's what you have to do.
He could have some wins for you. He could win weeks for you. But he's also going to have a nothing. And so you need a Ladd McConkey or somebody who's going to get fed consistently, on their team along with him.
Yep.
Ideally, I'd like Marvin Harrison as my second wideout.
Agree.
I think I'd feel really good that way.
Yes.
So if he's your one, you better stack up, like exactly what we were saying, find another high floor guy. All right, so speaking of guys that they're pretty darn good on their own, but do you trust them to be your number one? A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf, they're both in our tier. I mean, to start off, I like A.J. Brown more than DK Metcalf on confidence level, even though I don't think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback per se, and whatever. Go ahead and fleece me. I'm fine with it. I'm not the only one. I think he's a great athlete, and he makes throws when he needs to. But as far as arm talent, I don't know. But A.J. Brown still makes it work, right? And Devontae Smith and even Dallas Goedert, they've all been very valuable fantasy pieces. A.J. Brown, I think he's going to have another good year. I don't know if I'd want him as my number one necessarily. What do you guys think on him?
He's super tough because he's on a great team.
Yeah.
He's the one receiver. Yeah. And, he has number one talent.
Yep.
But he's like just a little bit frightening because he's just like, he's been hurt a lot, which is scary. When he's in, though, He's really good.
Yeah, 6 top
Like-
10 finishes last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think he missed like probably 3 or 4 weeks. Too.
yeah, he
So,
missed a month, so he played week 1
Yeah.
and missed 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then came back and he was 3rd overall that next week. Like, wow,
Right.
and then 6th.
So
So
and the other issue is there's just so much stinking talent on that team, right?
yep.
It's
Saquon
like
Barkley, you have the league.
Saquon Barkley, Devontae, Goddard's going to get some touchdowns, and then of course you're going to get the tush.
Yep.
The
Then
tush
Jalen
push.
takes
So,
a lot by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the tough part. I mean, I don't feel bad with AJ Brown on my team, but I don't think I would like him as a 1 this year.
Yep.
On my team.
How about you, Prue?
6 top 10 finishes out of the
Yeah, that's a high
14
floor.
games.
Yep.
So pretty high floor. I can tell you he is maddening. It's maddening as a fantasy coach, I guess I'll call myself.
Manager.
To be manager. Yeah, manager.
Owner. I like trainer, fantasy trainer.
I train these guys. They know me. They respect me.
So I needed, a very doable number of points, 8 points or something to
Yeah.
hold off and, stay safe on 1 week. And for whatever reason, Jalen Hurts just will not throw to him sometimes.
Yes.
And it was clear, like a slant in the red zone. He's wide open, and Jalen Hurts throws some fade route, low percentage throw to the back of the end zone
Yeah.
to somebody else. And I'm like, why would you not target your number 1 receiver on a
He
slant
does that though.
Who's open?
who's open, who's
How is that not your first read?
right? I just so
This gets back to Dexter's point about Hurts. Like I think it's just he's not that good of a quarterback. I understand he won a Super Bowl.
He's a good
He's,
fantasy
I
quarterback.
understand that
He's a good
like
fantasy
that he's going to
quarterback.
score a lot of points for you from a fantasy standpoint. But like when
I
you
think
watch
there's
him play,
I think there's a lot of like headbutting, just personality
I agree.
conflict between him and AJ Brown, and the two of them just don't get along great. They made a big deal
Yeah.
about that last year, and I think it shows
That's right.
up
Yeah.
from time
So
to
the
time.
I agree with you. The big question I have is, Dex, do you think AJ Brown has the book on the sideline this year? Is it the same book? Does he go with a different book to switch it up?
I think he's gonna have a new book
what's
this
the book
year.
situation?
He's gonna have a new book. Yep. Surely he's
All right.
finished it by now. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to think he motors through a book more than 1 per year, and maybe he's got something else he's got cooking for him. So we'll see what it is. I'm excited to see what it is, and that book quadrupled in sales by showing it.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely.
Probably more
We
than
need
that.
to get him to hold. We need to get him to hold a copy
Shrewdness
of the
t-shirt.
Shrewdness
It'll
t-shirt.
be coming
on
out
there.
soon, people. Shrewdness shirt's
That's
coming out
right.
soon.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget
the other
to
one I
look
want to
for
hit
those.
again, DK Metcalf. The other one, guy's got all the
Yes.
talent. I love DK, but you kind of love to hate him too because he's the one. Oh my gosh, a couple years ago, if you remember, he was just having so many bad weeks in a row. You're like, I'm benching him for this Thanksgiving
Yep.
game.
He's the
I'm
Kyle
not
Pitts.
messing with it. Yeah, and then
He's the
he
Kyle Pitts of the
went
wide
off
receivers.
like 3 touchdowns, 190 yards, and 10 catches, whatever. You guys remember? You watch Thanksgiving.
Oh my
games.
gosh.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had him on the bench. Like the start percentage that particular week was low because he was killing you for like the previous month. So that is
Yes.
DK Metcalf in a nutshell. But that was in Seattle. So I don't know.
Right.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers was throwing to Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams last year. He's feeding them.
Right.
And so I like to think DK is going to get fed in Pittsburgh. But boy, Aaron Rodgers, how old can you go? I mean, let's just see what's up.
Yeah.
How many darkness retreats can you go to and still have it for the next season? Because to be honest, if you're truly honest with yourself, even if you love Aaron Rodgers, he didn't look very good last year. And
Mm-mm.
I don't know if he's going to look better now.
Mm.
I don't know. So and
I'm a
DK
little worried
needs
about
him to
that
be good.
too. But I will say I do like DK better than Austin because I think Austin's more long ball reliant.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Rodgers is going to throw the long ball nearly as much as he used to. So DK is probably going to get more of the targets. And we've all seen the freak that DK can be. I mean, the anytime I hear his name, I automatically go to the interception play where he
Oh yeah, awesome.
tracked that dude down. It was it looked like a high schooler playing with like elementary school kids. And
Yeah.
he is that much of a freak when
Oh.
he wants to play.
Yeah,
do
for
yourself a favor too, and go look for the YouTube video of DK Metcalf vertical jump. And
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
just see what shows up.
It's insane. It's insane.
That commercial, I think it was last year, right, for the NFL, kind of get you pumped up, and he was going to catch it in his abs. It's like, how about I just catch it in my abs?
Yeah.
That's DK, man. But the thing
Totally.
is, so here's why I probably won't have DK on my team this year in Guillotine. One top 5 finish, 2 top 10 finishes all season. 2 top 10 all season. And we just talked about, I mean, even AJ Brown, what about 6? So,
only 3 in the top 20.
Yeah. It's just, and again, is it Seattle? I don't know. So we'll find out what it looks like in Pittsburgh, but it gives you pause.
That's a totally fair point. You don't know exactly what you're going to get every week. I agree.
And the highest ranking you had after week like 9 or 10, 24.
Yeah.
So he had all his good weeks in the first 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he missed a few, and then he came back and was not great. So
yeah, but Jackson Smith and Jigma on the same team had 4 top 10 finishes for Seattle last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
So,
can I say one I don't like, and I have him ranked pretty high?
Yep.
But I don't like him. I have him ranked this high on ability, but I don't like T. Higgins. And here's why I don't like him.
What do we usually call him? T. effing Higgins?
T. effing Higgins, okay? But here's the reason I really don't like T. Higgins. He just signed a deal.
Oh, he's fat and happy now.
I did not see him as an incredibly motivated guy before he signed the deal.
Yeah.
And they just paid him a lot of money. Now, I had to put him where I put him in the rankings because he finished 4th, 2nd, and 1st in 3 different weeks last year, which is really good, right?
For
and
the number 2 wideout for Cincy.
And
for the number 2 wideout,
he's on the same team as Jamar, right? So.
And he had like 6 or 7 top 20 finishes. So like he puts up the numbers, but I get the alarms, the spidey sense going off with this guy when it comes to a guy who doesn't feel like a guy who just loves to go out and play no matter what. And I think being fat and happy is a bad thing for T. Higgins. So even though I've got him in tier 2 and I think he's a tier 2 talent, I think I'm going to drop him down lower on my personal draft.
Yeah, I can see that. And again, he also has that the weekly deal. If it's a Jamar Chase game, it ain't a T. Higgins game.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
It's weird, but then there's the times where they just triple Jamar and say, this guy will not beat us. And then T. Higgins, he'll have his 10 for 120, and he'll be awesome. He's really talented. And the fact is, on the big contract, so Joe Burrow was a big part of making that happen. Like, he went to bat for him. So I'm hopeful that T. Higgins is going to, like, pay that back by being on the field and playing hard. But then again, it's just T. effing Higgins. When you own the guy, you just don't always feel great that he's going to deliver for you.
It's just a hunch I have on him, and I could be totally wrong. But let's move down to tier 3.
Yeah,
we move to these tiers, guys. Again, like tier 3 is not horrible. You're going to have a couple of these guys on your team, but we're going to highlight a few that we really like in tier 3. We won't talk through all of them. We're going to highlight a few of them that we say, hey, based on like what we've seen and some of the data that we've analyzed, like these are guys that are better taking the bet on than some of the other tier 3 guys. So
can I give a shameless plug?
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
All right, this is a good tie-in to our segment that we'll do throughout the season, and this information will be on our website. This is where you're going to find Shrewdness sleepers, right?
That's right.
T3, maybe even T4, tier 4. These are the guys that maybe are not on everybody's team. They're probably on most teams, maybe not everybody's team. These are the guys that on any given week, they've got a good matchup or whatever throughout the season. Right. The Shrewdness members here will offer up our best bets for the week for a Shrewdness sleeper, a guy that we're pretty confident can get you the points you need for that week to survive. And this is the tier where you're going to find them. So if you haven't paid attention, now's the time to wake up. This is the meat of where you can win your draft right here.
Yeah,
and
you
compete
probably
throughout the
this
season.
will be the difference. You're right. This will be the difference in a lot of them. Is like these are the guys that if you can get guys from these tiers that perform, you're probably going to win that week and advance. So speaking of that, I know that you've got one highlighted here, Dex, that I wanted to hear you talk about, and that was one George Pickens.
Yep. So George Pickens, I think the change of scenery and change of system and change of quarterback is only going to do him right. And he's going to be opposite now CeeDee Lamb in it should be a very potent Dallas offense if they run it correctly. Dak Prescott's back. He's going to be good. I mean, again, he could lead the league in passing. It's not even outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Now, the fact is, CeeDee Lamb's going to get a bunch of those. But like we've already talked about, the number 2 can be really good on these teams. And George Pickens has been fighting through it as a 1, getting double teamed all the time in Pittsburgh his first couple years. I think he could blow up on the opposite side of CeeDee Lamb. And he's a game breaker. He can make some really good plays. And he's going to be playing against the second best corners on the team instead of the best. And he won't be double teamed all the time. So I think George Pickens has a chance to have a really good season. He's kind of diva-ish, man. If I got a fear and said he's gonna love himself
mercurial.
Too much. He's mercurial. Boy, he's the definition of mercurial. So
he's definitely in a Devontae Adams. He's like a poor man's Devontae Adams in my mind. Yes. He's in a very similar situation.
That's exactly right. He is. So I think he's got a chance to have a very good season. So I like George Pickens this year. One other guy I want to talk about in this tier, I think we all kind of like him because he's highlighted for all of us, but I'll have a little dill on him, is Teteroa McMillan. He's, I think, the only rookie we feel really good about starting at wideout, and it's because he's wide receiver 1 on a Bryce Young Panthers team. He's going to have, again, the lion's share of the targets, and we keep talking about high floors. You get high floors, you get targeted all the time, and Teteroa McMillan is a guy that can be targeted a lot. He catches a ton. Came out of Arizona State or Arizona State? Arizona? Whatever.
Arizona,
the state of Arizona. And he was
somewhere in Arizona.
That's right. And the school he went to, he was very highly coveted. The highest prospect ever to go there.
That's right.
The highest recruit. So I like McMillan a ton. And he's going to have a good system. Like we talked about in the quarterback episode for Bryce Young, Carolina is a team I think could do really well and outperform expectations. So Thielen's going to be the number 2, Xavier Legette in the 3 in the slot. And again, he was a rookie last year and underperformed. And Thielen was out for a chunk of that year too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you have all 3 going, plus Jalen Coker, who doesn't suck, Hunter Renfrow, who doesn't suck, Trimble, who Chisholm highlighted in the tight end episode, that's a lot of good weapons. Plus Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, Trevor Etienne. They have talent. This is the most talent Carolina offense has had in a long time. So they're not going to be able to just kind of cheat on them. So I think Teteroa McMillan is always going to get double teamed. There's too many weapons. And I think Bryce Young's going to do a good job of feeding them. So I think there's going to be a high floor and a great shot of upside with Teteroa McMillan. Do you guys agree with that, or where are you at on him? Because I know you've got him much higher, Chisholm. You've got about 15 spots higher than me, and I like him a lot.
I have him ranked the highest. I have him at 26. I almost had him in my tier 2 and it's honestly just because he's the number 1, and I think Bryce Young is going to be a lot better. Yep. So there is some scary here because like Bryce Young could end up not being better, and if that's the case, Teteroa McMillan's going to be a frustrated wide receiver 1 who's not getting fed enough, and that could be really bad. Yep. But I like what I've seen so far, so I'm high on him and probably higher than most, maybe too high. But I like Teteroa McMillan.
Yeah, no, he's good.
I had him and Adam Thielen highlighted for similar reasons. I think Bryce Young has taken a step forward. I think Thielen will not get as much attention and could be a decent, probably wide receiver 3 option.
Yeah,
for you.
Great flex.
Yeah, somebody you can throw in your flex spot. A couple years ago, he had an insane amount of catches, all for like 3 yards apiece or something. But anyway, when you're scoring PPR, he was a tremendous asset.
3 yards apiece.
Yeah. So it's a huge asset for a fantasy owner. It's almost like a a cheat code for wide receivers.
Adam Thielen line would be 11 catches for 17 yards.
Yeah.
It's like insane.
So both of those guys, I think, have because of the team they play for and the quarterback that throws to them and all that. I think they're going to fly under the radar a lot in a lot of drafts. So look for some value there.
I had a question for both of you. A guy that's in this tier, a couple years ago, you would have said it's insane that he's in this tier. Even last year, Cooper Kupp. Is Cooper Kupp too low this year? Why or why not?
I don't think he's too low because we don't really know the role. I mean, with the Rams, we knew he was one that's going to be moving the chains, and he also was healthy. The problem is the last couple of years, he hasn't been real healthy, and
that's right.
He needs to be healthy. He's in a different system now, so he's up in Seattle, and I mean, he's going to be the second fiddle again. Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be the one.
Yeah.
So he's going to be that veteran presence on the outside, which nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I think we've made that abundantly clear. You can be the second wideout on a team.
Sure.
And be very, very good. But I don't know. I have him. I think he's properly placed in tier 3 because I think he can have those good weeks. But I also think, Sam Darnold is, I don't know. He's learning an entire new playbook, right? And
I know.
I just don't know if I
Darnold factor's a little scary.
Confidence level has me at a 3 for Cooper Kupp. But I like him, though. I'm not going to be mad at having him in my flex, but I'm not going to reach. How about you, Prue?
I think this is another guy that I think it might be time for a fresh start. I think he was getting way overshadowed in St. Louis. Puka Nacua has taken, the lion's share of the targets, and you had an insanely good wide receiver 2 that wasn't getting fed. The thing that makes me leery is that Jackson Smith and Jigba runs a lot of like short crossing routes, hook routes, short, he's not a deep threat necessarily. And Cooper Kupp,
Puka routes, right?
Cooper Kupp cannot be a deep threat, right? So do they have room for 2 guys to be the same, almost like a slot type guy?
Feels a little crowded in there.
Feels a little crowded to me. They still are going to
somebody to go deep.
They're going to,
do the 9 route. Do the straight one.
They're going to be like sparkling over there to see who has to run it this time. And I don't know.
Yeah.
So I worry about that a little bit. And then they like to run the ball with Kenneth Walker. Third, second, I don't know who he is.
Fourth, whichever one he is.
Whichever one shows up that week.
The third. He's the third.
He's the third,
yeah. That's right.
So I think we have him ranked about right. I had him 40th. Nope, I lied. I have him on there twice.
You really like him.
I like him so much. I've drafted him twice.
I got him 33rd. I got him 41st. I got him 50th. I'm not really sure where I like Cooper Kupp.
We'll just
all right,
keep
that'll
him
be
up there
edit number 2.
No, that's all good. I love it. Keep it in. All right, so
that's good.
I want to hit on a couple dudes just in passing because, frankly, they're all in our tier 2. We didn't talk about them, but Cortland Sutton. I think he's going to be really good, consistent for Denver again. I think he's going to be the clear number 1, and he's going to do really well. I think it's only going to get better for him. Even with the addition of Evan Ingram, I think that's only going to help him. I think Cortland Sutton will probably get more targets and more receptions because of that, because there'll be one more good person taking attention off him. So I think Cortland Sutton gets more open. Stephon Diggs, I want to hit on because I know there's a lot of opinions on Stephon Diggs. For one, he's coming back from, I think, an ACL, and he may or may not be playing week 1. So that's where I'm always like, But if he's playing week 1 and we get that news by draft time in a couple weeks, are you taking Stephon Diggs, and what can you expect from him? So Chisholm, I know you've got some feelings on this one. Let me know what those are. Okay, why not?
I'm not. So here's the deal. He's coming off an ACL. He's 31. In wide receiver years, 31 is very old.
It's like dog years.
And so it's very old, right? So, and coming off an ACL. Did I say he's coming off an ACL? So he is, and he's on the Patriots. Now, I like Vrabel. I'm a big Vrabel fan too. I know Dex, you're
Yep.
all in on Vrabel. I like Vrabel a lot too.
He's just such a good
But
coach.
he really is. He's a really good coach. But I don't like a guy this age coming off an injury, especially a guy who is used to being the guy.
But he's still going to be the guy in New England. That's
he
the whole
is the
thing.
one.
I
He's
know.
the
That's what I'm
one.
saying. I think it's going to be pretty good.
I don't think he's going to perform like the one. I think that when you get a 31-year-old coming off an ACL covered by the number one cornerback on the other team, I like Douglas better. I like Douglas to get more targets. I like Demario Douglas to get more, or even a barefoot Mac Hollins to get more targets.
Or Hunter Henry.
Or Hunter Henry. So, yeah. Right. So now I could tell you wrong on Diggs. I loved him in his prime, but I'm not high on him this year.
He was doing well for Houston last year until he got hurt.
He was
doing really well. And
yep.
That was with Nico Collins. I think they only had him for like 1 week. They had the band together for like one practice. That was it.
Did I mention he's coming off an ACL?
Yeah, no, that's true. But that's why we got him in tier 3. But Pruitt, do you feel any differently? Are you nervous?
I'm nervous. Let's see where I had him ranked. I actually have him a little bit higher than Horch's had him. How do I?
You only have him on there once at least.
Yeah.
I
managed to get him.
Only a
on
couple
there
spots lower
once.
than me.
I think I was the most negative on him of everybody.
Yeah, I still have him fairly high. I mean, ACLs are serious, obviously, but plenty of guys have come back. 31 does scare me a little bit, but he's talented enough. He didn't have hand surgery. He can still catch the ball.
Yeah,
okay.
So that's true.
I think he'll be fine.
I just want to go through and just kind of a yes or no that you will have him on your team. Like if he comes to you and this is the pick, Jerry Jeudy, yes or no?
Oh,
keep it
why
simple.
You gotta start? Why you starting with that one? That's ridiculously hard. Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah,
I mean,
because there's a quarterback carousel, and he sort of played with him last year anyway. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I'm a yes too. I think Jerry Jeudy is the clear number 1 for Cleveland. No matter who the hell is behind under center, they're gonna be throwing to Jerry Jeudy and David.
I'm gonna throw one at you here. Here's one. Yes or no? Juwan Jennings.
No, I can't.
No.
Yeah,
he's the de facto one.
I know, but he's also kind of already nicked. He's already got a hammy.
Yeah.
He missed games last year.
All right.
No.
I'm probably a no as well.
Ooh,
I don't.
You're indecisive. No.
I don't like the. I don't like the San Francisco's offense. I think it's going to be a whole lot of Kittle, and that's going to get shut down
CMC.
quickly. Well, CMC till he hurts himself.
All right. Calvin Ridley, yes or no to this all or nothing? Like he's a 0, and that's what he actually gives you some weeks.
Riddler?
Will he be on your team this year?
I'm a hard no.
Hard no.
He is a guy. So when I mentioned Shrewdness sleepers before, he was a Shrewdness sleeper pick like 7 times for us because there are certain weeks where he might perform pretty well, and he's always available.
But he's the number 1. He's the number 1.
I know
in
it.
Tennessee for Cam Ward's great arm strength.
I can't do it.
All right, Chisholm.
I gotta go.
Up to you.
I gotta go no as well. I go no.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fool me twice thing. Nope, not again, man. I rode the Calvin Ridley roller coaster too many times, and it's a fun ride if you like adrenaline. But I also want someone I know will actually catch a ball some games. I know he's had some good weeks. Listeners out there like, but Dak, you guys are idiots, man. He had so many good weeks. I don't know. I think you need to go check your stats. He had some good weeks. That's a fact.
Right.
But, man, if you're trying to say week after week, he had some stretches, and that's about as good as I'll give him. All right, Devontae Smith, yes or no for the Philly? Because he's another one, the Slim Reaper, but I think he also reaps a lot of fantasy owners some weeks, especially in Guillotine. Because if it's an A.J. Brown, Saquon Day, and tush-push Jalen, that's a 2 for 20 day for Devontae some weeks.
I cannot be objective in this one because he effed me over so bad last year. Like, I cannot have him on my team again. He's as bad juju. Nope.
Oh, you like Juju Smith instead? Juju Smith-Schuster?
I probably would take Juju ahead of
I
him.
would take bad Juju over, yeah,
Right?
over Devontae Smith.
All right. So, Zay Flowers. So, Baltimore's number one. Yes or no? Or is that too tricky?
I'm a yes.
Hard yes.
Hard yes.
I'm a yes, too. I like Zay Flowers. I think he's got a lot of upside, talent potential. Him and Rashad Bateman probably will have the same kind of stat lines again, but
I have
they're fine.
I have an old man
Ooh.
challenge here.
I like old men.
Oh, if there's one thing Chisholm likes, it's old guys with some saggy things.
That's right.
All right. Do you take a chance on Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen,
Okay.
or the aforementioned? Who do we aforementioned that's
Which
coming
old
back?
guy are you going?
Stephon Diggs. Sorry,
Okay. So Diggs,
Diggs,
Godwin,
Godwin,
or
Keenan Allen.
Allen.
Woo, that's a pretty good one, Prue. That's a pretty good one. I think I like Keenan Allen. I think
Okay.
he already has familiarity with Herbert, right? He's already had some great seasons with him.
True.
He's not hurt. He's not going back from an ACL or a disgusting ankle injury that looked just disgusting, and they had to like take it off the air. So I think that also helps. So not being just horribly injured last year, do I think he's got the most talent at this age? I don't know. I think Godwin probably has more upside, but I think Allen's going to be the higher floor, more consistent. But I still like Diggs as long as he plays week one. But again, that's my whole point. I don't know if he'll be there week one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going Keenan Allen on that one.
Yeah. I'm Godwin. I'm Team Godwin on that one. I like that offense better. He didn't play a lot last year, but when he did, he was really good. He had like 3 or 4 top 20 finishes in the 6-7 games he played. So I like him a lot. How about you, Prue?
I'm with you on Godwin. But I mean, anybody that drafts Godwin, you better have another
Somebody
receiver that you're
else.
taking in the next round, because there's
Absolutely.
a better than average chance he will miss several games this year. So
I think
That's
it's
right.
a contract year for him too, which I always kind of like. So he's going to try and
Yeah.
stay on the field. But the thing is, I think he's got enough character and commitment to the team anyway. He'd be doing it anyway. That's what I like about
Right.
Chris Godwin. But boy, that was a disgusting injury. So I just don't know what he's going to look like,
Yeah.
if that quickness is still going to be there in the first step. And I mean, modern medicine, especially the kind they get in the NFL, those guys tend to come back
Yes.
just fine.
that's right.
But you never really know. You never really know.
No,
All right.
you don't. That's
So
true.
another one that is going to be a team number one for a good offense, Khalil Shakir for the Buffalo Bills. He is hopeful for week one. Does that scare you away on draft day? Do you take him, or are you just going to wait? Like, if he still has a Q next to his name on draft day 2 weeks from now,
Not a chance.
do you take a chance on him?
Not a chance. There's no way. And here's why. Like, number one, here's some advice for all of you who are doing your first Guillotine League. Do not draft someone hurt for week one.
Especially if one of your first 8 picks will be starting for you.
This is the biggest learning that you'll have switching from traditional fantasy to Guillotine. You don't stash people because you may not be around. you have to have somebody. It's like, what can you do for me this week? And like, if you have the luxury, you might have the luxury early on to stash somebody. If you're like, hey, I feel really good about all my team, but you're going to find that the teams are really thin really quickly. So if you're going to stash somebody, it's got to be like CMC level talent.
Jamar
that
Chase
you're willing
was
to go
somebody
for.
they were hoping played week one last year.
Jamar Chase,
And he didn't.
right? Like that level talent. Khalil Shakir, even though he's the number one on the Bills, he didn't have one top 5 finish last
Which
year.
is surprising. I saw that too. I couldn't believe it. You just figured
Like-
there had to be one week where he was the guy.
Like, that's crazy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what that says to me is even at his best,
Yeah.
he's not the guy. So I can't take a risk on Khalil Shakir, even though he's a top 40 wide receiver last year.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Only 2 top 10 finishes, though. We're talking high floors. That ain't it.
Right.
So it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I think there's one more fun one I want to talk about. We kind of hinted at him already. Travis Hunter. So
Yes.
what do we think he's going to be? So splitting time between wideout and cornerback. He's a rookie. There's already a learning curve, but he's also slotted in to be number 2 on the team with Brian Thomas Jr. across from him, who we all love. Like Shrewdness loves Brian Thomas Jr. So does Travis Hunter. How's he going to look this year? I don't know. Is there someone you're confident about to have on your slot? Probably, obviously, is a flex spot. But is it a comfortable flex spot for us, do we think?
I'm on the under on him playing offense. I think he will, but I think they're going to utilize him more on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's going to be like, they're going to figure out that he's going to get too beat up if he's playing both sides of the ball. So
I think that's true.
I think he'll default more to the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
Right.
Chiz, what do you think of Travis Hunter?
I think he's the shiny new toy. They're going to get the ball. Like, I'm probably more bullish on him than Prue because I feel like they traded so much to get him.
Yes, they did.
That
he better be good.
I'm actually afraid they might overuse him because they've invested in him so much. But early in the season, I like having him on my team because I think they're going to force him the ball.
Yeah. And I think he's good enough to get it too. I think he can handle it. I like Travis Hunter. I won't be upset if he's in my flex spot. All right, let's go to a couple kind of pretty steady eddies. Michael Pittman Jr., Wan'Dale Robinson. So those guys are, again, number 1, Pittman for the Colts. And then Wan'Dale Robinson was a very highly productive number 2 on the Giants opposite of Malik Neighbors last year. Are those two guys going to find their way onto your rosters this year? Why or why not? So let's start with Michael Pittman Jr. from the Colts. So we don't know who's throwing to him. Is it Richardson? Is it Daniel Jones? It's looking like it's leaning towards Daniel Jones at the moment. Does that change your calculus at all? So Michael Pittman, he's pretty good.
I like Michael Pittman. I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm not drafting him. Not with that crap show that's happening in Indianapolis. Like, I cannot... Like Daniel, I don't want anyone who's having Daniel Jones throw him the ball.
Yeah, if that's your main guy, we're in trouble.
My team.
But Malik Neighbors, that was him last year, and like we said,
I know.
He got fed until he got traded to the Vikings midseason.
You're right. I mean, he could say like, "This is my Malik Neighbors." You know, I have a very bad feeling about Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I think Josh Downs for one will get more targets and kind of supplant him.
Downs is legit. Last year,
he's good. Pittman had one top 10 finish in the wideouts all of last season. It was week 17.
I carried him on my roster a lot of that season.
Yeah, so I don't like him at all. He will not be on my team. But you can still like him. It's all good out there, Shrewdness listeners.
Yeah.
But just he's not going to be on probably our teams unless Pruitt changes it. Is there one vote for Pittman?
Nope. I think there's a lot more evidence for Alec Pierce being on my team. Like he had a lot more upside, a lot more high points weeks last year. So
absolutely. One other I wanted to touch on. The rankings are all over the place for this guy,
Totally.
Jalen Waddle. Because 2 years ago he was super good. Him and Tyreek were the 1-2 punch for a ridiculously good Miami Dolphins offense. Then last year they're all terrible. The whole team was terrible. Jalen Waddle has fallen rounds and rounds. He was a third round.
He was a second round pick.
Yes,
a couple years ago.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. And Gio, he was absolutely in the second round, middle of second round last year.
Right.
Do you take Jalen Waddle this year? Do you trust the 2 years ago waddling in the end zone, or do you do the 2 touchdown, 50-some catches from last year version of Jalen Waddle? Let's start with Prue.
I'm higher on him than I think you guys are. I've got him ranked in the upper third of my tier 3.
I see that. And I'm wondering why that is as I look across his one top 10 finish. Jesus, one top 15 finish.
I just think he's got too much talent. I think with Johnny Smith leaving, those targets will be spread pretty evenly between Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
And Darren Waller.
And yeah,
Darren Waller
had 4 targets for Darren Waller until he's out with a bad back.
A-Chain, who's going to have like 100 receptions himself from the running back.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So you like him. That's all good.
I like him. I think he's a fine wide receiver 2/3.
All right. Chisholm.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have good data to support this, but I like Jalen Waddle. I mean,
you just like his touchdown celebration. Let's be
I
honest.
do love his touchdown celebration,
that
but
he got to do twice.
I mean, he had this guy was a number 6 overall pick a few years ago. Like he's ridiculous talent, and he's out of Alabama. He's really good. They just got to figure out how to get him the ball more, and I tend to think that they will. I just have a good feeling about Jalen Waddle this year. And I do think a lot of it stems from what Pruitt said and losing Jonnu Smith. I think those targets got to go somewhere. I think Jalen gets back into the mix more.
Okay.
Dex,
I'm not.
I think I know where you are.
I'm not touching.
You're not touching him with a 10-foot pole.
No,
that's
a stay away for me. Jalen Waddle's a stay away. And yeah, he might have a great year, and I might miss out. So be it. I'm gonna hit on somebody else, and it'll be fine. But it ain't gonna be him. All right, let's go with
awesome.
Another one that's been exciting for years because they keep waiting for him to be good. Jamison Williams, who
I was waiting for you to bring him up.
Jamison Williams is pretty good.
He had 1,000 yards receiving last year.
Last year, he was a top 5 finisher twice, then 8th and 10th, and really he was pretty consistent. He had a couple of super duds, so like 113 and 102. But for the most part, outside of those two, he was a very productive wide receiver to have on your roster last year. Jamison Williams, I have no issue having him on my team. I don't know if he's not a 1. I hope he's my flex. But if he's my 2, I'm not too mad about it. And I'm hoping, though, that he's my 3. So hopefully he's anchoring a flex spot for me.
Right.
But what do you guys like about Jamison Williams?
Biggest advantage is that he's on a high-powered offense.
Yep.
Right.
Helps.
I've expressed my concerns. I'm patiently waiting to see what Detroit looks like this year offensively. But
everybody is.
He definitely can be a wide receiver 3, no doubt, like in a flex spot. So I think he's definitely a flex spot. Maybe a wide receiver 2, depending on how the draft goes, my draft position and all that. But I wouldn't be too mad about having him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Chiz?
Yeah, he's trending in the right direction. He's got a lot of talent, and he had 1,000-yard receiving year. He had 7 touchdowns. You know, if you look at his progression over his career, he's gotten better every year.
Yep.
And he's still young. He's 23. So, you know, I feel like he's worth a flyer. Although I don't have warm and fuzzies about him.
Yeah.
And there's no good reason why I shouldn't, but I think probably it has something to do with what Pro was talking about. What are they going to do in that offense? How's it going to look this year? Is it going to be more running?
I hope they keep the same system for Detroit fans out there because that system worked. Just keep the same playbook. Just dust it off and change the name up top. Put some wideout on there and put the new offensive coordinator. Like, this is my
work.
Let's roll with this one. That's what I would do.
That's right.
All right. There's one on here that I am just absolutely not taking. I am so low. I will never get him anyway. But Chris Olave, and it's not talent.
No,
it is not talent based.
Olave.
It is Nolans and who the heck, Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck. I can't believe in any of those two dudes to make this guy worth anything to me, worth drafting. So Chris Olave,
right?
He'd be on my do not draft list, but he's on a lot of people's kind of sneaky ones. And I get that crappy teams can have good wideouts. But damn, man, if it's coming down to Monday night and I need Chris Olave to give me 9 points, can I really count on 4 for 50? A touchdown? No, it won't be that.
Feels gross, doesn't it?
Kamara or nothing for the Saints for me. But Chris Olave, am I alone in this, or where are you guys at on Chris Olave?
That's
giving me all I need to know right there. Okay.
I have doubts. I will say, like I mentioned last episode, I think New Orleans Saints have the second easiest schedule based on last year's results. So maybe they put up more points this year. But they're going to compete defensively and keep. Generally, they're not going to score that many points with their quarterback situation.
They're going to be really, really bad. They might be drafting and getting Arch Manning a reunion in New Orleans next year. Is how bad they're going to be.
Definitely see that.
I mean, that's just history repeating itself.
That's going to be a rough team.
Actually, that'd be kind of
cool. In general. I think it's going to be a rough team.
Now I'm rooting for an 0-17 season so they can get Arch Manning.
Go for it.
That'd be sweet.
Go for it.
All right. Roma Dunze, next one up for me. And then I'll let you guys pick some dudes. Rome Odunze for the Bears, 10th overall pick last year out of Washington. He's got the good system again we're talking about. We like Ben Johnson in Chicago. He's going to be the number 2 on that team. What do you think about Rome Odunze? Does he take a step up? And I think he can be targeted some more. I think he's going to be pretty good.
Brew?
I have him higher than our average. I didn't see where you had him, Chiz. Oh, about where I did. 33 and 35, or how we had him ranked. Dex,
Yeah.
I think, is a little
Yeah.
higher. No,
I'm
a little lower, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'm the highest of the three of us. I had him at 33 overall.
You are.
Again, a lot of these guys, week to week, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference whether he finishes 35th that week or 50th that week, right? I think he's going to be in that range quite often. I don't think he'll shine top 10 performances more than maybe once in the year. But I think he'll be steady as a, tier 3 contributor.
Yeah.
Okay. That works. Chiz, where you at?
I don't love him because I don't love Caleb Williams.
Fair enough. At least
So,
we're honest here on Shrewdness.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down
Just
to.
don't
It's
have
like,
the trust for him.
I don't think he's good enough nor smart enough to get him the ball. There we go. How about
it
you,
is.
Dex?
There, I said it.
I like Odunze just because I think his talent is gonna. Again, having so many weapons can be hard to double anybody at any given time. With Loveland and DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, they're gonna have a lot of people. I think he's just gonna have enough routes that he's the one that's the most open. And I'm hoping that Caleb Williams can learn to make reads. But how do you not get better in year 2? And it could be it's just a very hard playbook to learn, which it probably is. I mean, Jared Goff said it was very hard. It took him a couple years, but then boy was he good once he got it all. So Odunze's got the talent to be good. I have him at the very, very, very last spot on my tier 3. I think he's got enough kind of upside to justify that spot, but I was waffling on putting him in tier 4. But I think he could be good enough for tier 3. And again, I wouldn't be horrible if he's in my flex, especially early weeks. I think he'd be pretty good.
Right.
All right.
That's right.
So I want us all to now talk about, we're not going through this list. So that's tier 3, unless there's anyone else you guys want to talk about out of that. We didn't touch everybody, I know. And so listeners out there, again, that's why we're going to put a list up. We're trying to talk about some of the ones that are kind of more waffly, but went through a bunch of them. But tier 4, these are our lottery picks. So now we're into the lottery zone. Like, we have filled out our 8 starters. Now we're looking for somebody that, if you need them, hopefully you could pan into something. So there's so many here. This tier has about 40 freaking people in it. So that's kind of what we're talking about.
We'll discuss a couple.
I think we each throw out one guy each that's like a flyer pick. Like, keep an eye on this guy. Maybe your 13th or 14th pick, you take a shot.
All right, Chisholm, start us up.
Well, I got a question for you guys in this tier. Rashee Rice.
Dang it.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Where do you guys?
He's a stasher, right?
What do you do with Rashee Rice? Like he may start the season,
or he may miss the first 5 to 6 games,
or he may they could come with the suspension a month in. You know, you don't know what it's going to be. So, would you take a spot if I'm a drafting Guillotine player right now? Do you guys take a spot for Rashee Rice late in the draft at this time as a lottery ticket?
I mean, this would be like a round 12, 13 for me. It's not. He's not going to be like my first 4 backup spots. Like,
that's right.
If he's still there,
round 13, you taking him.
Round 13, I'll take him because at that point, I have backups to fill in case something happens those first couple weeks.
Okay.
Yep. To me, it's worth a shot. You don't have bye week. You don't have bye week problems until week 5, I think it is.
Yeah, that's
right.
So you got 4 weeks
week
to figure it out.
Kick in.
So I think you take a shot in round 13, round 14.
Okay, along those same lines. Brandon Ayuk.
He's out for like 6 weeks, though, isn't he?
I'm just saying, Brandon Ayuk.
Rashee Rice could be out 6 weeks.
That's true.
Right.
No, you're right.
Do you stash Ayuk? It's round 13. Brandon Ayuk's on the board. You taking him or no?
I feel like you said the same thing. Like he's coming back from an ACL injury, mid-season ACL injury, after he held out last year and finally got his contract.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No on Ayuk. No for
Prue?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
so the team
Somebody
is
else's problem.
yes on Rashee Rice, no on Brandon Ayuk. Okay, Jordan Addison.
Exact same thing as Rice. Yes for me. Again, it's a 12 or 13.
Okay,
because he's super good when he plays, and he's
so
just an idiot.
Both of
That's
you
why he's suspended.
That's 3 games for him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 games already locked down. You know what you're getting when you draft him too.
Yes.
The other 2 you don't.
Yep.
That's true.
We might know on Rashee Rice before the season starts.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys were like, why have they not talked about Rashee Rice and Jordan Addison? These Shrewdness guys are idiots because we're not drafting people that are hurt, suspended, anything else.
Right.
They are
welcome to Guillotine.
They are rapidly
the best ability is availability. That's our new saying.
That's right. Welcome to Guillotine.
You have to be able to play. All right.
That's right.
So let's talk about an actual player on the list that is healthy, is not suspended, and will be playing week 1. Who do you like, Chisholm, out of your little pile of red? Like your
out of my
30,
pile of
40
red,
dudes, our wild card. Who's your wild card in there that has some upside?
I mean, this is a disgusting pile for sure.
There's some good people in it. There's some really good ones in there.
No, there's some good people in it. You're right. There's some good people in it. My person is. You don't feel good about any of these people, so let me just qualify that. There's a reason they're in the red. Okay,
yeah.
But if I'm taking a flyer here, it's probably Josh Downs.
Yeah, I like that. Why do you like Josh Downs? Tell me why. Give me more.
Well, Josh Downs he's a really talented guy, and he's got the ability to do a lot with the ball. I like him in space. He is like the type of player who could have a breakout season. He's at that stage of his career right now where, from a development standpoint, you look at the guy, he's 23. This is the kind of year you could have a breakout year on. So I'll put some chips down on Josh Downs.
Here's another thing I like about him. 7 top 20 finishes as a wideout last year for the Colts. That's saying something. 7 top 20. So Josh Downs, I like him a lot too. That's a pretty good one. Pruitt, who
are you taking out of your pile of poop, Prue?
So one name I had him actually listed at the bottom of my tier 3. We didn't talk about him, I don't think. Marquise Brown. Hollywood Brown, I think, is worth a late pick, late tier 3, early tier 4. If Rashee Rice is out for the first 5 weeks, I think he and Worthy are going to get the lion's share of targets. Kelsey's obviously going to get plenty, but as far as wide receiver, those 2 will be in there for a lot more reps than maybe once they get into the season and Rashee Rice comes back. So Hollywood Brown could get some early value for me.
Nice.
I like it. And Dex,
all right,
your red pile.
Out of my red pile, I'm doing one that has a lot of upside, playing behind a couple really old dudes. So Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver 3 in Tampa, that we've already said we love the offense. We like where Baker's going. We like what this team has. Bucky Irvin running the ball, a good line. And this guy is playing behind a dude who jacked his ankle up in 82-year-old Mike Evans. So if anything happens, he has even more upside. But I think he's going to be pretty good in the 3 slot anyway. So there's a story about a young man named Randy Moss who came in behind Chris Carter and Jake Reed. And they're like, Randy Moss ain't going to touch the ball at all. I'm not saying he's going to have a Randy Moss year. I'm just saying it's not without history that you can have a decent year. And I think he could do really well. So
agree.
Egbuka is going to be used a bunch. And he's, again, Ohio State's all-time, one of the best all-time ever out of Ohio State. And he's going to be just lining up in the slot and on the outside. And he's really big and really good and has great hands. So I think Egbuka is going to be used quite a bit. And I just don't believe in the health of Evans and Godwin to play 17 games each.
I think that's very fair.
So I think Egbuka's got some upside because of that. So that's one I like a lot. He's kind of a rookie that we don't know much yet. but they like him enough to already have him on the depth chart as 3. So he's going to be on the field a ton already. So there's a lot of rest of these on here, but we're not going to go through all those.
Check out the website. Check out the rankings. We will be publicizing the website, but it's the shrewdness.podcastpage.io. So the shrewdness.podcastpage.io is where you'll be able to find our content. You can see all our episodes on there. You can see all our rankings. When the season starts, you're going to get our betting content on there as well. A lot of good stuff will be on there. We'll also be putting blog posts up with some information there, talking about what's going on in the season. So it's going to be it's going to be your hub for Guillotine.
There may even be a high school picture of Chiz on there at some point.
There might be. You never
I hope
know.
so.
You may go there just for the gorgeous guys that are on the podcast right here.
The nostalgia.
You may want more of that content.
That's right.
So we invite you to check it out again one more time, the shrewdness.podcastpage.io, and we will be publicizing that on the socials too. But this has been a blast for us. We have had so much fun doing the previews. We have even more fun during the season. So if you've enjoyed these previews, please check us out weekly during the season. We will be talking about what's going on in the world of fantasy. We'll be talking about who you need to look for. Pruitt mentioned the Shrewdness Sleepers, which is content you'll be able to access eventually on the website. We'll also have Spuds, guys that are typically folks that you would count on that we don't like for the next week.
Yeah, given the
Shrewdness
matchups
Sleepers
and everything
Spuds
else.
will be on there. We'll also have our betting picks because we finance these houses basically by betting on sports. And so that is, what you need to look at. Probably don't invest all of your money, but money you're willing to lose, you'll be able to invest with us by our betting picks. But we're headed into the best part of the year for the Shrewdness. We love all the sports, but we really, really, really love NFL, and we really love Guillotine. So this is a fun time.
Well said. Appreciate it, Chiz.
Yep.
All right, boys. Well, the next episode we'll kind of talk about some just overall rankings. We'll talk about how the preseason games are going, how some of the battles for roster spots. So it'll be fun. So that'll be kind of the next episode we do. We'll be kind of talking about that stuff. So stay tuned. And until then, though, the most important thing of all, stay shrewd.
Stay shrewd.
Stay shrewd.